Welcome to the Frail Blaze. Our story this time: The Creature Under My Bed. I never stick my feet out from under my bed anymore. Why? Every time I did, something tried to grab me and drag me under the bed. I told my parents. They don't care enough to listen to me. Now, all I hear every night is, "Join me. I want to be your friend." My blanket dangles to the floor, and I can sense movement, like he's trying to pull on it just slightly. And I hear faint tapping noises from beneath my bed. It's very unsettling. But no one believes me, so I'm left with no choice but to try to ignore it. It took my favorite blanket and dragged it under the bed. I'll just have to use another one from the closet. But it's getting hard to ignore. Now it's leaving me things on my bed that I swear I have never owned before. Like a toy car, or certain dolls. Where is it getting these things? How is it getting these things? Did it take more children before trying with me? I feel like it's going to eternally try to pull me under, constantly tempting me with toys and taking blanket after blanket away. If it's so strong, why doesn't it just take me? I'm not sure what it wants from me, and I have no idea what I'm going to do. The only thing I know for certain, I'm on my own. Our story this time: I have a special visitor. At night, I have a special visitor that comes to see me. After Mommy tucks me into bed, I stay up waiting for him. He knocks on my window, and I let him in. He told me his name was Steve. At first, I was scared because I thought he might be a monster. But he said he was a friend of Mommy's. He plays dolls and house with me. We have tea parties, and he lets me show him all my princess dresses. I'm really sad when he has to leave, but he says Mommy doesn't like him there, even though they are friends. I'm not supposed to tell her. Steve said he would take me on a trip one day if Mommy lets him. We will go on a road trip to Disneyland and eat all the good snacks and go on my favorite rides. I can't wait, but he says not right now because it would make Mommy mad. I really, really want to go, so I ask Mommy why she doesn't like her friend Steve anymore. She acted really weird and dropped her cup on the floor. She said she didn't know anyone named Steve. But then Daddy asked her, "Didn't you have an ex-boyfriend named Steve?" I couldn't hear what she said, but she left, and I didn't get the chance to ask about the trip. I told Steve I was sad because we couldn't go, but he told me it was all right, that we'd still get to go someday. He said it was because he was my real daddy. He told me that if we wanted to go on the trip, all we had to do was get rid of the other daddy. I'm so excited. Our story this time is called My Father Was the Scariest Men I Ever Knew. My first memory is desperately trying to muffle my brother's cries. My dad is towering over us, yelling that we should shut the hell up. Crying always made Dad angry. Everything did, really. The old bastard died years ago, but he stays a part of me. I'm an angry girl, not easy to love. I have never had a boyfriend, never even had friends, really, except for my little brother. He's the functional one. Doesn't even remember half the stuff Dad did to us. Just kind of blocked it out, I guess. He is able to live. He has tons of friends. He even managed to fall in love. And they had a baby girl. I always wanted kids. I never got the chance. The jealousy was eating me up. But I wasn't really angry at my brother. I understood why everyone preferred him over me. And he's the only one who ever loved me. That is, of course, until the night he asked me to babysit his kid. I still remember his screams, the terror in his eyes, the blood on the crib. Him trying so desperately to fix his only daughter, to make her breathe again. Have you ever seen someone giving CPR to a baby? It didn't work. I just stood by and watched everything. The trial was a blur. I barely even heard my sentence. Even now, the only thing I can focus on are my brother's letters. He hates me. He hates me for killing his baby girl. But he's kept in touch. After all, there was a time where we were the only good in each other's lives. He knows that I saved him back then. A bond that deep doesn't break easily. So, he keeps writing. I hold on to these letters. Every word about him recovering, him living, him thriving again, has been a tiny spark, a confirmation that I made the right call. That is, until I saw what he wrote yesterday. I'm going to be a dad again. I put the letter down quickly. I was feeling sick. My father was the scariest man I ever knew. Until I arrived at my brother's house that fateful evening and saw him standing over the crib covered in blood. "Shut up," he whispered. "Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut the fuck up." I cleaned him up after. He just kept staring off into the distance, murmuring. And by the time I was done, he had just blocked it all out. So I took the blame. I took the sentence. He was my baby brother. He had a life to live. He's a good man. He's a kind man. One moment was all it took, and he does not even remember that moment. But I am sure when his next child arrives, my father will awaken once more. Tragedy in a family is so very hard to escape. Sometimes even easier to repeat. Let me know what you thought of this story in the comments below, or if you know of any other stories you'd like me to read. I do hope you'll join me in the future for more frail Blaze tales.